Good afternoon and good morning. Welcome to the Lexis Practice Advisor demonstration for Corporate Counsel. Anna Haliotis will be presenting how Lexis Practice Advisor can help corporate counsel handle transactional matters in-house. Anna is the Manager of Content and Product Initiatives for Lexis Practice Advisor's Corporate Counsel module. She brings both law firm and in-house experience. Anna began her career as an associate at Pillsbury, Winthrop, Shaw, Pittman in New York. She then moved in-house at a technology startup where she was the sole in-house counsel for a number of years before joining LexisNexis. During today's demonstration, attendees can ask questions through the question and answer feature. Questions will be addressed at the end of the demonstration by our product specialists, Jean Briggs and Eric Harrison. And now I will turn it over to Anna for the live review.
Thank you, Vanessa. So as mentioned, today I'll be demonstrating Lexis Practice Advisor's Corporate Counsel offering. But before we get started with the demo, I just want to tell you a bit about what Practice Advisor is. So it's essentially a comprehensive practical guidance resource written by leading attorneys that's been created specifically for attorneys who handle transactional matters. So we offer exclusive practice notes that are drafted by experts in their field. They're organized in a task-based way to align with your workflow. And we also include a robust forms library with many forms that incorporate the guidance of expert attorneys with drafting notes, alternate and optional clauses, et cetera. And then we also supplement these core materials with on-point cases, legislative material, secondary content, and emerging issues articles. So this is meant to help you get up to speed quickly on a range of legal areas and stay current with market trends. And it'll help simplify your routine and really give you a head start on drafting, all of which is going to help you work more efficiently. And this is especially important these days when, as I'm sure you all well know, corporations are cutting costs and are asking their in-house attorneys to handle a lot more internally rather than send projects to outside counsel. Okay, so let's actually take a look at Practice Advisor so you see what I mean. So right here is the Corporate Counsel offering. If you had a subscription to other Lexis products, you'd be able to use this drop-down and seamlessly toggle through back and forth between Lexis products, and you would select Practice Advisor right here. In addition, this is where you would select your module. So we currently have 11 modules in the market. We've got Banking and Finance, Business and Commercial, Corporate Counsel, Financial Restructuring and Bankruptcy, Intellectual Property and Technology, Labor and Employment, Mergers and Acquisitions, Real Estate, Securities and Capital Markets. And we also have 2 jurisdictional modules, which are California Business and Commercial and Texas Business and Commercial. And while I'm here, I also want to show you this Topic Navigation tab. That's going to allow you to access the table of contents for any of these modules without leaving where you are within the module itself. That's just for easy access. All right. So what you're looking at is the landing page for the Corporate Counsel module. Every module has a landing page, and it's going to be populated with these pods here. And I just want to walk you through them. We've got here the Updates pod. This is where you would look to see what's been updated in the content as well as what new content has been added. Below, we've got Recently Browsed. This is essentially a breadcrumb trail for you, so if you've been working in the product previously, you would easily be able to pick up where you left off. Editor's Picks. This is where our content leads are able to highlight specific information for our users. Here we've got our Law 360 pod. This is going to give you a list of relevant articles, and if you scroll over them, you can see a summary is going to appear. And if you had a subscription to Law 360, you could click directly into that article and access it, the full text there. And then just below, we've got Meet Our Authors. This is going to link you out to our Practice Advisor Author Center, and I do want to take you there just for a moment to show you that really our content is built by 2 sources. We've got an internal team of expert attorneys, but we also contract with hundreds of expert authors that are part of leading firms and in-house departments. And just to give you a sense of the caliber of firm that we're talking about here, you can take a quick look. We've got Wilkie Farr, White & Case, Sullivan and Cromwell, Schulte Roth, Pillsbury, Proskauer, the list really goes on and on. And so, that's going to allow you to feel confident about the information that you're getting through Lexis Practice Advisor. Here on the left, this is the table of contents for the Corporate Counsel module. I'm going to use these 3 arrows to just expand the TOC because it is pretty extensive. Corporate Counsel has currently 30 practice areas that we cover because we understand that in-house counsel can be asked to handle a wide range of legal matters. So we really try to cover the landscape for you. So you can see, for example, we've got software and IT, privacy and data security, commercial contracts, labor and employment, all the way down to business entities content, franchising. We've even got ethics, international content, et cetera. All of our content is organized here by topic or practice area, and then it's subcategorized by task or deal type. So for example, we've got commercial contracts here. If I click more subtopics, you can see we've got a number of different types of commercial contracts to choose from. All right, let's take a closer look at the content. I always find it helpful to use a hypothetical here. Let's say I am in-house counsel and I want to make sure that the company's NDA agreement for new employees is as robust as it can be. Well, I know that this is an employment issue, so I'm going to go to our labor and employment topic here and take a look at the subtopics. And I see we've got restrictive covenants and protection of confidential information. So that's a good bet on where I'm going to find my content. Now, if I didn't know where in the TOC to find my content, I could also go up here at the top to the search bar. This is going to allow me to search using both Boolean or natural language search criteria, and you can also do pre- and post filtering. So if I click on this, I can select by content type. I can also limit by practice area if I want. Okay. So going back to our TOC here, if we click on restrictive covenants and protection of confidential information, this is going to take us to our snapshot page. Basically what the snapshot page is it's going to list out for you all the different types of content that are available under this subtopic. So for example, we see here we've got forms, we've got practice notes, cases, etc. These content types are also going to be listed out on the left here, so you can access that content either way. Okay, let's get started with practice notes. So here we've got an overview, and that's going to basically provide you with a general summary of what the practice notes are going to cover. And this is going to help you make sure you're on track, make sure that you're in the information that's most relevant for you. We also have this Topics tab. That's going to show you exactly where you are within the module's table of contents. So that's going to help keep you oriented within the product, and it'll make it easier to find related content as well. So taking a look at the practice notes, these are our practice notes here. This is going to be really the who, what, why, and how of the task that you're interested in. It's going to get you the essential information you need. You can see in this case it's organized by jurisdiction. We've got federal here. We've got state distinctions here. You can also see that it's authored by Littler Mendelsohn, so we're confident that this is really going to be top-notch guidance. So let's go ahead and click on this. And then just further looking at the content, you can see that it's laid out intuitively to take you through all of the important considerations for protecting your company's confidential information. So we've got pre-employment and new hire considerations, what to do during employment, covenants not to compete, et cetera, et cetera. So woven into this information are also going to be tips and advice from our expert attorneys so that you feel like you've got that seasoned expert standing by your side. And then in addition, you may have noticed a few embedded links here. So from time to time, we do include links where we feel it's really essential to the content. Those could be case law, legislative materials, or even practice notes to other content. If we feel like it's really relevant, that allows you to really just click into it while you're making your way through and gives you easy access. Okay, so now we've learned about restrictive covenants and protection of confidential information. We're ready to draft. So now we're going to go to our forms content. And this is really the bread and butter of our offering. It's a lot of what our customers come to us for, and the feedback that we've gotten is that the caliber of our forms content is really high, and that our users feel confident in using our forms. So you'll see here on the Forms tab a number of different types of forms if you look on the right in this type column. So first we have expert forms. Expert forms are forms that are exclusive to Lexis Practice Advisor. They are drafted by our internal and external experts, And they're also going to be further enhanced with drafting notes, which are going to be, tips and advice on a clause-by-clause basis, as well as alternate and optional clauses woven in throughout. And we're going to take a closer look at that in a minute. But just to show you other types of content you may find here, we also have Lexis forms. And Lexis forms are forms that are pulled from other Lexis products that we really felt complemented the expert forms well. So that's going to increase, what's available to you, but still on point to what you're looking at here. In addition, where it's relevant, sometimes we include official forms. So, for example, links to the Secretary of State, if that's what's typically used, we're going to provide you a link directly to that content so you never really have to go searching for it. It's right there for you. In addition, we provide Lexis clauses, as you'll see here at the bottom. Those are going to be clauses in addition to the clauses that are available to you within the forms. And then we also provide checklists. All right, so let's actually take a look at a form here. And I also want to mention that, a big part of the value add of our form set is that all of our forms are clean and they're non-negotiated. So, a lot of in-house legal departments may have their own repository of forms, but a lot of those forms are going to be from deals gone by, so they're going to already be negotiated. And in order for them to really be useful, you'd have to take the time to really unnegotiate them, clean them up before you can get started. And that's time-consuming and tedious. So all of our forms are clean. They're ready to go right off the bat. The other thing that we provide are two sides of a sample agreement. So, for example, in our purchase and sales section, we would have a pro-buyer purchase agreement and a pro-seller purchase agreement. And what's great about that is that you would be able to select the side that's relevant to you, so whoever your client is, and all of those clauses are already going to be skewed in favor of your client. So that's going to be added drafting that you don't need to do. We've already done that for you, so you'll be that much closer to the finish line. It'll save you time. Okay, so I mentioned drafting notes. These yellow sticky tabs here, these are our drafting notes. So you can see this is where our experts infuse the content with their tips and advice, and this document is just chock full of that kind of information. And again, it's on a clause-by-clause basis. So if I click on this, you can see this pertains to Clause 2, and it's going to provide the information right here. And just to give you a sense of what kind of information a drafting note might include, let's say, for example, you're working on an agreement that you haven't worked on before, and you come to a clause that is skewed heavily in favor of the other side. Well, as attorneys, our knee-jerk reaction is going to be to push back on that. It's not balanced, and you're going to want to reach out to the other side to adjust that. And most of the time that's fine, but sometimes there are certain types of agreements and certain clauses that are just never negotiated. They always stay as is. And that's going to be a perfect opportunity for your expert to kind of give you a heads up on that and provide that information in the drafting note. And that's just one example of the content you might find. And then in addition, we've got these blue notes here. These are your alternate and your optional clauses. I'm going to click on this, and you can see this is another version of this Clause 4. So if you liked the alternate clause better to what's already in the contract, all you would need to do is click Add to Form, and there it auto-populates, and then you would just X out the clause you were no longer interested in, just like that. Very, very easy. In addition, if you had your own language that you'd rather use, you can use Add Your Own Clause and just insert your own information there. Along the same lines, we have these fillable fields right here where you could add that information in directly while you're in the product. And then in terms of delivery options up here at the top, of course, you have email, you've got print, but you've also got a couple of download options. So this is going to be your download to Word option, where you can set up your preferences, etc. If you did download to Word, it would, of course, save all of your changes, but you would lose the functionality that I was just showing you, the drafting notes on the side and the swapping in and out of clauses, etc. If you wanted to hang on to that functionality, if you wanted to come back to the document and keep working on it with that functionality, then you would save to a work folder here. And this is going to save your form within the Lexis Practice Advisor database. So you'd be able to come back to it and pick up where you left off. And then lastly, we've got this Draft Now button, and that's going to be your one-click download into Word where you've already preset all of your preferences, and that's going to be your quickest option. All right. So the practice notes and forms are really the heart of our offering. Now, if you did want a deeper dive into this area of law that you were interested in, we provide that as well through our secondary materials. So let's go there and let me show you what I mean. So we've basically pulled out treatise excerpts from dozens and dozens of the most coveted Matthew Bender and other treatises and really hand-selected the most relevant excerpts for you and organized them for you. So you don't have to go searching through the treatise to find what you're looking for. Just to give you an example, here we see Employment Law Desk Book. I'm going to go ahead and click this for you so you can see what it actually looks like. Okay. So here it is. You can see a really robust excerpt from this treatise, and this is all included in your Practice Advisor subscription. Similarly, we offer cases. Now, a lot of transactional attorneys don't do a lot of research, but sometimes you do want to know what the courts are saying. So our internal team has culled through the vast repository of Lexis information and pulled out the most relevant cases and organized those for you. We really did the research for you here. And then, again, we organized them with these gray tabs. And I want to show you this Jump To feature. This is going to be available on all of the content types that I showed you, but it's very relevant here because we've got a lot of information on this page. So the easiest way to navigate is going to be to go directly to the section that's relevant, select it, and it's going to take you right to the spot that you want. So let me show you what a case looks like. So this is just what you would get from Lexis Research. We've got your shepherd symbol here, and you've got the entirety of this case for you to use if you so choose. And then we do the same thing with our statute and legislative material. So I'll show you this as well. So again, full text here, all included in your subscription. And then lastly, we offer emerging issues articles. And this is where we've pulled together articles written by our expert attorneys as well as legal memos, articles from Martindale and other sources that are really going to help you keep your finger on the pulse of the legal landscape. This is, what people are talking about in this area of law. So again, we can use the Jump To, and let's take a look at this form. This is going to take us to a nice Martindale article that's on point to what we were interested in, trade secret protection. Okay. So that really rounds out the different types of content that we offer. I do want to show you one more thing here. This is our Ask Our Authors feature. And this is going to allow you to communicate directly with our internal team of expert attorneys. So we're more than happy to answer any content-related questions for you. Anything to help you get the most out of your Practice Advisor experience, we're more than happy to do. Our response time is typically within 24 hours, but honestly, usually a lot faster than that. We keep all of our content up to date. We maintain it on a continuous basis. Our expert authors sign upkeep contracts, and our internal team assists with this as well. So, I hope that you've really gotten a sense of how extensive Practice Advisor's content is. And, our team is always developing more content. We're getting feedback, enhancing existing content, thinking of ways to improve the offering. This is really a living, breathing product that's going to continue to evolve to meet your needs.
And thank you, Anna, for that review.
Sure.
We did not have any questions that came through. So this will conclude the Lexis Practice Advisor for Corporate Counsel webinar today. On your screen, you will see the individuals that you can contact for further information if you have specific questions. However, we do encourage everyone to please complete the short survey that will appear. It provides us excellent feedback for future presentations. And we thank you for joining. Have a good day.
That concludes today's conference. We appreciate your participation.